Hey guys, Mr. Baines here to talk about the rock cycle. Let's get started. Add this to your table of contents with the correct page number and date. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, we're going to be learning about the rock cycle, the three main types of rocks, and the processes that cause rocks to change into the other types of rocks. Three types: igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. These are the processes: melting and cooling, weathering and erosion, changing temperature and pressure. Alright, so we've kind of talked about where the Earth came from with the nebular theory, but how did the rocks get here? Where do the rocks on the surface come from? Okay, so how are rocks made? Is it A, by magma and lava, B, by weather and gravity, or C, by heat and pressure? Or D, all of the above? Write your answer in your notebook. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, the correct answer is D, all of the above. Rock is kind of already there. If it's liquid, then it's magma or lava, but weather and gravity, heat and pressure can all change the type of rock that it is. So different rocks can be made from all of these forces. What are the names of the three main types of rocks? Shiny, hard, porous, igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, lava, magma, volcanic, tectonic, sandy, or gemstones. Write your answer in a notebook. Go ahead and pause it. Correct answer is B, igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Let's learn about those three types of rocks. Igneous is a rock that is made when liquid rock, also called magma or lava, cools off. Igneous comes from the Latin word ignis for fire. Okay, so it makes sense that these come from hot. A volcano erupts, sending a chunk of lava onto the ground. That chunk of lava cools until it becomes a solid igneous rock. Okay, so lava comes out, ignis, Latin for fire, or igneous, Latin for fiery. The magma or lava cools until it becomes a rock like granite. So you can have extrusive igneous rocks that form from lava or liquid rock that's outside the surface. It cools off very quickly. So an extrusive rock cools off very quickly because it's formed on the exterior of the Earth. It usually has holes in it, pumice, because it cools so quickly. And pumice can actually float in water. If you get magma or liquid rock that's underneath the ground, it cools off really slowly, and you get intrusive igneous rocks because they form inside the Earth. Complete a tip chart for the word deposit. Okay. Sedimentary rock is rock formed when other rocks break down and harden. So sand is made when rock breaks down into tiny little chunks. Then the sand can harden into a sedimentary rock called sandstone. So here, this is how rock can be broken apart. When you have water that gets in these cracks and then freezes, it pushes these rocks apart, and then it'll fall down the slope, scratch against each other, and break into even smaller pieces. Wind can also rip through sedimentary rock like this. This is sandstone in Utah. When wind rips through it, it scrapes against it. So a rock might come scraping against this, and then sand will be broken down. Floods. This was from the flood in Colorado last year. This was a picture from in the canyon, Boulder Canyon, and huge damage, and just water ended up taking all of this rock down with it. And those rocks scratch against each other and break down into smaller pieces. So those little pieces break down, they kind of form on there. As more and more gets packed on there, it gets packed deeper and deeper until it gets hardened into rock, like sedimentary rock or sandstone. So you get different colors of sand, and you get different colors of sandstone. All right, complete the tip chart for the word sedimentary rocks. Go ahead and pause it. Okay. Metamorphic rock. This is a rock that is changed. So metamorphic, morph means change. Okay, so the rock changes the way it looks, usually by pressure or by heat, and it gets squished into a new rock. So sedimentary rock gets buried deep underground where it feels immense pressure and heat, and then it turns into a new rock. So you might have magma and igneous rocks. Those can fall down, weather and erode, turn into sedimentary rock. So you get sedimentary rock. Down near the bottom here where it's hot and it gets squished, you can get rock that kind of squishes and changes shape and turns into its own type of rock. So all of this is metamorphic rock. Usually when you see stripes like that, that isn't sandstone, it's in this. Marble is a sedimentary rock. So these layers, this was a sedimentary rock that got squished and changed shape into a metamorphic rock. Oh, and you can see this little line here. This was some magma that leaked through and went straight through it. So that's pretty cool to look at. All right, write the definition of metamorphic rock in your, or make a tip chart for this. Go ahead and pause it. Okay. Would you now please draw this cycle in your notebook? Okay, so igneous rock can change into sedimentary rock by weathering and eroding. Metamorphic rock can weather and erode and turn into sedimentary rock. And sedimentary rock can weather, erode, and turn back into a different kind of sedimentary rock. If it melts or cools, melts and then cools, turns into lava or magma and then cools off, you get an igneous rock. If it gets squished or heated up but not melted, it can turn into a metamorphic rock. All right, question. How does a sedimentary rock become igneous rock? It melts into magma or lava and then cools off. It can never become an igneous rock. Once it is sedimentary, it's impossible. It crumbles into smaller pieces called sediment. Those pieces get squished until they harden. Or D, the immense heat and pressure inside the earth squishes the rock until its layers become wavy. Write your answer in your notebook. Go ahead and pause it. Correct answer is A. In order to turn into an igneous rock, or ignis rock, meaning fire, must turn into magma or lava first and then cool off. All right, how about sedimentary rock turning into metamorphic? Same choices. Go ahead and correct answer E. The earth until its layers become wavy. A little bit more. Fossils are an important thing that we're going to talk about. The dinosaurs died 65 million years ago. How can we still see their bones? Most organisms die, don't become fossils, because organisms eat their flesh and stuff, so like it molds and rots away. But some of them, very few of them, their bones will harden into rocks and then get trapped in other rocks. And you'll see them today. So a fossil is the remains or an impression of a prehistoric organism that has been preserved in rock. Okay, so the bones of a velociraptor have hardened into rock and have been buried deep in rock. All right. Other types, you could get wrapped in, some creatures got wrapped in amber or sap, and then that sap hardened, and so the whole creature is actually, so that used to be living, but it got trapped in sap there. This is a trilobite, a T-Rex. His bones were hardened into rock, and then looks like a velociraptor whose bones were hardened into rock. How are fossils made? So it starts off with sand or rock covering a recently dead dinosaur, or maybe the sand or rock covers the dinosaur and kills it. Okay, then even more gets buried on top of it, and some of the skin and stuff decomposes, just leaving the bones. More and more rock buries it until it gets squished and eventually hardened. Whoops, that's supposed to be for fossil. Sorry. Sorry. Would you? This isn't supposed to say metamorphic rock. Would you write a tip chart for fossil? Go ahead and pause it. Okay. Then these fossils get found when magma from the mantle pushes up these fossils. This is one way you can find them. Magma pushes up these fossils until a scientist digs in and then finds them. All right, tell me in your own words how fossils form. Write and draw a picture explaining how fossils form. So we have actually used fossils to see what happens in the past. So we were able to date the rock that these fossils were found in, and Triceratops fossils are only found in rock that is this old. Okay, the same age as this rock. So we called that period of time the Triassic period. And so each one of these fossils is only found in a certain layer of rock. Stegosauruses were found in the Jurassic period. Okay, so there's lots of, this is how we figure out how old everything is. And we actually don't have to dig very deep, and we can find our ancient ancestors. This is the skull of not a human, but something that looked very human, more like a Neanderthal or something along those lines. That's it for this video. Please complete the Google Doc in Google Classrooms, and I'll see you next time.